Welcome to Agentic Experience. Today we're going to talk about something that is quietly shaping the future of the internet, AI protocols. You may have seen terms like MCP, Chrome MCP, ACP, and UCP popping up in AI discussions lately. But most explanations online are either extremely technical or incredibly confusing. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through what each of these protocols actually does, who introduced them, and most importantly, what they mean for business and the future of the internet. And one quick request before we start. This video will likely become a reference you may want to visit again. So go ahead and bookmark it. And if you enjoy clear explanations like this, do like and subscribe. On this channel, I focus on making the agentic internet understandable and actionable. For the past 3 decades, the internet has been built primarily for humans. We search for information, we browse websites, we compare products, and we complete transactions ourselves. But something fundamental is changing. Instead of doing these tasks manually, we're beginning to delegate them to AI agents. Agents will gather information, agents will evaluate options, agents will plan trips, agents will even purchase products. This means the internet is shifting from a human browsing interface to an agent driven interface. And when machines become the primary actors online, the infrastructure of the internet needs to change. Every major phase of the internet has been built on protocols. Email works because of SMTP. The web works because of HTTP. Modern apps rely heavily on APIs. Protocols define how systems communicate with each other. Now we are entering the era of machine to machine interactions. AI agents will interact with tools, browsers, other agents, and business systems. And that requires a new generation of protocols designed specifically for this environment. The interesting part is that the race to define these protocols has already begun. If we zoom out, the ecosystem becomes easier to understand. Different protocols are solving different layers of the agentic internet. At one layer, agents need to control browsers. At another layer, agents need to communicate with other agents. And at another layer, agents need to execute transactions and commerce workflows. Each layer solves a specific problem in the stack, and the companies defining these layers may ultimately shape how the next generation of the internet operates. So let's start with one of the most important protocols, MCP or Model Context Protocol. This was introduced by Anthropic in 2024. The goal of MCP is simple but very powerful. It creates a standard interface that allows AI models to connect to tools. These tools could be APIs, databases, applications, internal enterprise systems. So instead of building hundreds of custom integrations, MCP provides a standard way for AI systems to interact with external capabilities. That's why many people describe it as the USB-C for AI systems. Now, technically, MCP works through a client-server architecture. The AI model acts as the client. Tools expose capabilities through MCP servers. Those servers then connect to APIs, databases, or applications. What this enables is something very powerful. A single AI model can suddenly connect to dozens or even hundreds of tools without any custom integrations. This dramatically simplifies building AI-driven workflows across systems. Now let's look at something that recently generated a lot of excitement. Chrome DevTools MCP. This is essentially Google exposing Chrome capabilities through MCP. So what that means is AI agents can now interact directly with the browser environment. They can inspect web pages, analyze DOM elements, monitor network activity, and even perform debugging tasks. In simple terms, Chrome MCP gives AI agents visibility and control inside the browser itself. Now, historically, web automation relied heavily on web scraping. Scripts would parse HTML, pages, and then try to extract information. But this approach is extremely fragile. If a website changes its structure, automation breaks. Chrome MCP changes that model. Instead of scraping blindly, agents can interact with the browser using structured protocols. This makes automation far more reliable and scalable. And it moves the web towards something incredibly important: an internet that is designed for machines as well as humans. Now let's move to another important layer: the Agent Communication Protocol, or ACP. It is often associated with the work from IBM and Linux Foundation initiatives. This protocol focuses on how AI agents communicate with each other. Imagine one agent responsible for research, another responsible for analysis, and another responsible for execution. Agent communication protocols allow these systems to coordinate tasks and exchange information. As AI architectures evolve, we will increasingly see multi-agent systems working together. Now, confusingly, ACP also has another meaning in the ecosystem. In the OpenAI commerce ecosystem, ACP refers to Agentic Commerce Protocol. So this protocol focuses on enabling AI assistants to interact directly with merchants. So an AI assistant could search for products, compare options, evaluate pricing, and complete purchases on behalf of users. In other words, it enables agent-mediated commerce, and that could significantly reshape how online shopping works. And now coming to UCP, another major development that comes from Google, the UCP, or the Universal Commerce Protocol. This protocol is designed to enable AI agents, especially within Google Search and Gemini, to interact directly with retailer systems. Agents can discover products across merchants, compare prices and availability, and potentially trigger checkout flows. If widely adopted, UCP could change how product discovery works across the web. Instead of users visiting many websites, AI agents could handle the process end to end. So, when we step back and look at the ecosystem, something interesting becomes clear. Different companies are defining different pieces of the agentic infrastructure. Anthropic created MCP for tool integration. Google is pushing browser control and commerce protocols. OpenAI is exploring agent-driven commerce workflows. IBM and Linux Foundation are focusing on agent-to-agent communication, and this is essentially a protocol race for the future of internet. The companies defining these standards may shape how AI interacts with the world for decades. But not every protocol matters equally to every company. For retail and commerce businesses, protocols like UCP and Agentic Commerce Protocol will be extremely important. For software platforms, MCP will likely to be critical because AI agents will interact directly with tools and services. Organizations building complex AI automation systems will care about agent communication platforms or protocols. And developers building browser automation will pay attention to Chrome MCP. So, understanding which layer applies to your business is the key first step. Now, different industries will feel the impact of the agentic internet in different ways. Retail and consumer goods companies will need to prepare for AI driven product discovery. Travel and hospitality companies will see agents planning trips and booking itineraries. Financial services will see agents comparing financial products and assisting decision making. Healthcare systems may use agents to help patients navigate providers and schedule care. So, across all industries, the key idea is simple: businesses must become machine readable and AI accessible. So, the biggest takeaway from all of this is that AI agents will increasingly act on behalf of users. When that happens, the systems that agents can access will shape which businesses get discovered. Protocols like MCP, ACP, UCP, and Chrome MCP will determine how agents interact with the digital world. Companies that expose structured data and APIs will be discoverable by agents. Companies that don't may simply become invisible to them. The organizations that move early will compound their advantage, and that's exactly the kind of transformation we'll continue exploring here on Agentic Experience. So, if this explanation helped you understand the topic better, bookmark this video, subscribe, and stay tuned because the Agentic Internet is just getting started.